Dear poor people, they're not shouting their abortions, they're shouting their degrees.
My name is Jacob, and my concentration is environmental science and sustainable business.
Hi, my name is Lex, and my concentration is the performance of self.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle. My concentration is creative direction, production, and narrative through the arts, performance, and written word.
Hi, my name is Karina Gomez, and my concentration is in journalism and Latin American studies with an emphasis in human rights, collective memory, and political violence.
Hi, my name is Reed, and I study music business and gender studies.
Hi, my name is Dominique, and I studied care politics with a minor in disability studies.
Okay, like I said, apparently now young people are, specifically women, at least in this video, are being encouraged. I mean, a few years ago, we got to shout your abortion, and now apparently we're at shout your useless, time-wasting, money-busting degree. So let's go just think about this a little bit. So we had some people, I wrote some of this down. This was so amazing. I had to write some of this down because I'm so not sure exactly what this is. But somebody has a concentration in the performance of self. Now, let's think about this. Aren't you performing self just by living? Is there anything additional that you need to do? I mean, I feel like I'm performing myself right now. I was earlier today. I did yesterday. I will again tomorrow. I'm pretty much only performing self. That's pretty much all I'm actually doing. So I don't know why I'm spending upwards of $100,000 at New York University to learn how to be what I've been successfully doing my whole life. So first of all, I think that if you want to pay that kind of money for that, you know, I'm a true capitalist. I believe in capitalism, and I believe that the market does what the market can bear. And apparently for this young lady, the market can bear it. I think it's amazing, but somehow they were able to sell this to her. And then somebody else was studying that had a concentration in collective memory. Now, I'm not sure why we all need to remember exactly the same thing. Can't you write it down and send us an email? And then we'll know, why are we working on collective memory? Okay, but you know, that's where you spent 4 years of your time. And these people didn't say, I looked into it, I read a book on it, I took one class on it and wrote a paper. No, these people said my concentration was in this. I mean, this is the bulk of their study. This is the accounting of their time in collective memory. And somebody else said care politics. Okay, now that actually saddens me a little bit because I'm convinced that the only way you can study care politics is if you know nothing about history, nothing about human nature, nothing about the evolution of man, people, any species, faith works of any kind, certainly not the big three, but even any offshoots of faith works, because care politics doesn't see, I think you had to make this up. You may have invented a concentration because care politics doesn't seem to have a framework in any thing that is heretofore known to man. And nothing man has ever done can we find an undercurrent of care politics. So I'm basically saying all this to say, and particularly for the young ladies, I know there was, I believe, one gentleman so far in the video, but particularly for the young ladies, I'm here to say it is clear to me, as far as I'm concerned, this is an admission that if you do, I don't, but if you believe in the wage gap, that women are earning 72 cents to every man's dollar. These women, as far as I'm concerned, this is their testimonial to the fact that they have no intentions of doing anything that would close the wage gap. None of this stuff is going to make them a dime. None of it is. So this is their way of saying, do not count on our generation, my class, or me specifically. Do not count on us if they're believers that there is such a thing as a wage gap. They have no intentions of doing anything to close it. Let's continue.
My name is Elliot Wright, and my concentration is art as a social mechanism.
Hi, I'm Georgia, and my concentration is dramatic writing and theatrical adaptation.
My name is Noah Loyacano, and my concentration is equilibrium or negotiated paradox.
Okay, first of all, shout out to the black girl, because theatrical adaptations, you might can do a movie. You could you could read a book and adapt it into a movie. Maybe, I could see a half a future for you. So thank you. This last gentleman, I'm not even sure what he said, but it tickled me. Bless your heart, whoever you are. That was fantastic. If you do nothing else in life, and I don't think you will, you can know that today you made me smile. Go ahead.
Just remember this video in a few years when they start complaining about student loan debt and saying that their $80,000 a year tuition should be paid for by our tax dollars.
Yeah, so by the way, just like the young ladies who have no intentions of closing the wage gap, I want to use this video as my testimony and my declaration that I have no intentions of contributing any of my tax dollars to pay off these student loans. You wanted to take this stuff, you're going to have to pay for it. This, first of all, student loans is a private activity. That is a private contract that you are making with the bank. That is a private contract. I have no business in your private contract. And if for some reason this contract should go bad, and I assume it will, I don't know how many times you can defer, but I don't think it'll be enough for you all. But if this contract, and when this contract goes bad, don't look to me. However, I do want to say on a serious note, as funny as this was, and as much as people on the internet are laughing at it, and I can understand it because I too was tickled by it in some places, this is really the evidence, in my opinion, of some absolute punk parenting. This is a generation of people whose parents have done nothing but love them, and they are loving them into meaningless and miserable lives. People have got to understand that in life, to have a full and fulfilling life, it requires some discipline, and it does require suffering. And I need to go and explain what I mean by suffering. People recoil at the word suffering, but it's not a bad word. And the Bible, the word suffering also means long patience. It means doing something that is uncomfortable or that is sometimes displeasurable long enough to reap a reward from it. It is the fact that you have to pay for a gain. The entire universe is structured in such a way that the best gains are those that are paid for, and they're paid for often, in fact, most often, by the ability and the willingness to be displeased for a period of time to gain something in return. You go to the gym, you lift a weight, you run on a treadmill, you do whatever you do. It's not fun. No one likes it. It needs to be uncomfortable. It actually needs to be uncomfortable for a purpose. And in fact, the more uncomfortable it is, the more likely you're going to feel better when it's over, and you're going to receive a gain from it. What these people wanted in their life, and unfortunately, what their parents are trying and failing to give them, because this cannot succeed, is to say, we want to find a way for you to get all the rewards that life has to offer for no payment at all. You can have it cheap and you can have it free. And that is exactly the prescription for how to have a meaningless and miserable lives. You wonder why they say this generation is the generation that is most on antidepressants and most on psychotropic medication. This is why. Because they have not meaning, because they will not suffer. And this is what you get when you give everybody a trophy, and everybody's pretty, and everybody's smart, and everybody's the fastest, and everybody's the smart. You can't, that's not true. You are setting these people up to go into adulthood and struggle. And what the job of a parent is to control the environment so that kids struggle when they're young, so that they can face the world as adults. These kids never struggled while they were young. They went and wasted their parents and the government's money, which is very upsetting to me, who underwrote all of these loans, went into these fake concentrations that many of them probably made up, and so that they could graduate from college in a way where they didn't have to struggle to get the degree. And then they're going to be upset when they find out that the degree is meaningless. Well, I'm here to break it to them tonight. It is very likely meaningless. We wish you luck. I hope it can work out for you. I doubt it will. If I were you, I would start immediately on a plan B. It's not too late. You're still young. You may have some intelligence. We don't have any evidence of it right now, but you may be able to show us that you have some intelligence and there's something you could do. And for parents who participate in this, and specifically for those who are about to send young people into high school and into college, and even younger than that, actually figure out how to create an environment where your kids can actually practice the discipline that's needed to be successful, which means they're going to have to be uncomfortable, and learn how to stand letting your children be uncomfortable. I hope that's helpful. Thank you for joining me on this video. I'm so happy you stopped by to watch it. Please visit my channel again and like, share, and subscribe, and make sure you're there the next time I drop another video. Have a great night. Bye-bye.